Good morning and happy Thursday. It's a beautiful sunshiny day today, and that just brings me great joy to see the sunshine out and see some of this rain dry up. I've heard from several of my Florida friends last night and this morning, and a few of them still don't have power. So you guys that will pray with me today, pray for those people in Florida who don't have power. The heat is back, and so it's pretty miserable in their homes, or even if they have to go to work and don't have either full power or no power still at all. So be praying that that's restored, because it's very difficult to have 84, 85 degree temperatures in your house at night and try to go to sleep. And so I just pray that that will happen today. And I want to give you a really quick mission for today. This one is an easy one. Pick one room in your house that needs a rescue and go in there for 15 minutes. Set that timer and hit the hot spots. Get the clutter out of there. If you've got several things to donate, get that box, put it in your car, so when you go out to do errand day, whether it's today or tomorrow, you can drop that off and it's gone. And that will help you. Don't just keep moving that box around the house or let it sit beside the front door, because if you put your donations right beside the front door, it's going to sit there for a while. To get it out of your house, you've got to go ahead and walk it out to the car, put it in there, and then drop it off through the drive-thru whenever you're out and about doing errands. It's really easy once you get it to the car, but that's one step that holds a few of you back from getting those donations taken care of, is you let the box sit and accumulate until there's just a pile of stuff falling out over everywhere. So let's get that donated. This morning on my blog, I talked about hard days in homeschooling. You need to realize that not every day is going to be the greatest homeschool day ever. You're going to encounter hard days. It could be attitudes, it could be your children struggling with learning a new concept, it could be outside things with family members being sick or you or the kids being sick. You're going to have hard days, but remember that the good days are going to outnumber them. Every day is going to be a little bit different than the day before. There'll be different dynamics, different skills that your kids are learning, and some kids just do not do well when they're pushed a little bit to learn something new. So you've got to gauge how to meet those needs with your kids and not be stressed out and anxious and then cause them to be anxious about it. So what I do when mine are learning a new skill and they seem to be struggling is we try to break it down into really small parts. I give them additional time to get up and move around, get outside. As you can hear while I'm talking, one of mine keeps walking in and out of the house. Giving them that movement time helps them process things in their brain that they don't even really know they're processing. And it's particularly helpful if you have a child struggling in phonics or math, to give them that intense 5 to 10 minutes of talking about a concept, practicing it, and then giving them a 15-minute break where they're moving. This is not sit down and play a video game kind of thing, but just actually moving those large muscles, because deep down in their brain they're going to start processing what you just taught them. Then after that 15 minutes you can go back and do a little bit more of the same thing, whether it's the math or phonics, or move into something different. But balancing those breaks with some deep, intense learning time is going to help them. It's going to reduce their anxiety. It's going to motivate them to focus for that few minutes. Some of you have kids who drag their feet going through their math lesson. So cut out the fluff, use a timer, and give them something active to do right after their math time. If you've got a child struggling with phonics, you need to make sure they don't have a learning disability or some dyslexia, or they may just not be a visual learner. So if you've got one that struggles with phonics, see if you can figure out why they're struggling, and then find a curriculum that meets their needs. I've used a different phonics program with just about every one of my kids, because they all learn to read differently and they all process differently. So it's okay if what worked for your first child who can read well does not work for your second or third child. And it may be your first child is the one struggling. So don't feel like you're a failure if they're struggling with a subject. See if you can figure out how to help them overcome that struggle. If you have questions about that or comments about hard days, I've already gotten emails this morning from a few of you. Just feel free to put comments down here. If you don't want to put it out in a public forum, you can email me at Tammy, T-A-M-I, at TammyFox, TammyFox.com. And I'll even drop my link down here today in the comments, because I do want to help and encourage you. I know that you're going to have hard days. One year we had a hard whole school year. So it does happen, and just remember that there will be good days and you will overcome whatever it is. So work toward having the good days and not letting the bad days derail you and make you feel like you're a failure, because you're not. Every single one of us who homeschools has hard days. And a lot of people don't talk about them. They give you the pie in the sky, they give you the happy stuff on Pinterest, on social media. You're going to see the happy stuff. You don't see a lot of people posting about the hard days. Some of that's because they don't want people to give them a hard time and tell them we told you so. And some of them just don't want to they want to protect themselves and their kids, and they don't want to get on social media and say, I'm having a hard day homeschooling. But just recognize that it happens, and that every single person that homeschools has hard days. They're not all going to be easy. So you're not alone. And you can email me if you feel like you're alone and have nobody that understands, because I've pretty well gone the gamut of struggling on hard days from little kids to struggling with hard days with teenagers. So in 18 years of homeschooling, I've had bad days throughout, from kindergarten to 12th grade. So just realize that you're not alone, and that there are people out here who will talk to you and listen to you. And my menu plan's simple tonight. It's Thursday, so that generally means we're getting out something from the freezer. And so we're going to have chicken breasts and salad. There's a few leftovers from the previous meals this week, so if the boys don't want to eat chicken, they can just have leftovers. So it's going to be an easy day in terms of our food. I've got a few appointments, so we're going to get our school done, and we are going to do a few things around the house, including that 15-minute room rescue, and then I've got some appointments. So have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the morning.